When people come down from up north to look at homes in the Sarasota area for the first time, I've noticed a pattern of questions, observations, things that they're surprised about. And so today, that's what I want to cover, those 5 things that most people don't even realize is going on down here until they're here looking at homes and asking. Even if you've vacationed here, it's just stuff that doesn't come up or you don't observe. So I'm really excited to share these with you today. Now, each week I post new videos about moving to Florida, moving to the Sarasota area, living here, living in Sarasota, Venice, Lakewood Ranch, all these surrounding gorgeous areas that we have on the west coast of Florida. So if you've been thinking about moving to Florida, this really is the channel for you. So be sure to tap that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and then as always, don't be shy. If you have any questions about moving here, please give me a call, text me, email me. I'm happy to talk with you. Sometimes people have questions, they don't even know what they are. They just know they need to talk some things out, talk it through, because moving is a big deal, and I understand that. So don't be shy, give me a call. Okay, let's get started. Here are 5 things that Florida newbies or people who are new to the Sarasota area to look around have questions about, or maybe are a little bit surprised to learn. Okay, this is maybe one of the most popular questions I have is, what is a lanai and how do you say it? So of course we see the word lanai, it's Lanai, and it's pronounced lanai. They'll see it in listings and then they're like, I'm not really sure what that means. Okay, so I did look up the definition before doing this video, and what's the technical definition is really not how we use the word here. So in our area, the lanai is basically the back porch, and typically it's covered. So this porch could either be screened in, it could be open, there could be some windows of some sort out there, or it could even be part of like the cage, the pool area with a cage over it. So all those things is what we call our lanai here. Now, a long time ago, my grandma used to call it the Florida room, and I'm not really sure what a Florida room means either, if there's a more specific definition, but that's what she used to always say. But she used to always call the sofa the Davenport as well. So as a child, that was always confusing too. So love grandma, but sometimes her words that she called things that I grew up with aren't what we call them today. So as I mentioned, sometimes a pool has a cage over it, and that's that metal contraption with screens that you see. That's the other thing that a lot of people are surprised about. They're like, what are those called? So it's the cage, and the cage is great because what it does is it protects the pool from debris, and then it also keeps bugs out, like mosquitoes and general bugs. Of course, you're going to get your little lizards and geckos running in and out. That's not unusual, but otherwise it really does protect the pool. And then what I also love is when you do have a screened lanai or a cage over your pool, and you have either sliding glass doors or French doors out to that, when the weather is moderate and beautiful, like it is today in mid-February, you can open up all of those sliders and bring the outdoors into your house, and you don't have to worry about bugs coming in or other little critters or animals finding their way into your home. And so that is what is so wonderful about having a screened lanai. Okay, another question I get a lot that people ask sort of sheepishly is, do you guys have basements? In fact, I just talked to a woman the other day and she goes, well, I would like to have a custom built home and I'd really prefer a basement, but like, you guys can't do that, can you? And so the answer is no, no basements here at all. Now, I'll be honest and back it up a bit. There's a couple properties I am aware of in Sarasota County that do have basements, but these properties were built in the 20s. So FEMA, code would not permit those anymore. And it has to do, with the sand, flooding, we're at 0 elevation, so we have to be careful with that. So all the homes are built on slabs, and that's how we say it's just a slab foundation, with some exceptions of some wood frame homes. I used to own a 1920s old wood frame house, and it honestly just sat on a bunch of concrete blocks, and it wasn't even all the way around the home. Some of them, you'll see where the blocks go all the way around the house, but it just sat on, quite a few, but you could just crawl underneath the house. So it was my first house. It was adorable. I loved it, but I just needed something a little bit bigger now. But it was a great first home to have. So yes, we do not have basements, not an option. Okay, question number 3 that I get a lot, and it's a great observation. And I'm gonna present this question just like it's asked me most often. And they'll say, is it just me, or do most of these homes not have rain gutters? So yes, it's a legit question, and that's true. Most properties do not have rain gutters, or they're just not all the way around the house. And I think it's because we don't have basements. It's not necessary. It's more just for convenience. So often you're gonna see the gutters, or I think sometimes they're called east troughs up north. You'll see them just at the front of the house and the back of the house, just where people are coming in and out, or maybe over the garage. So it's just more for convenience. You'll see them more with new construction. And again, they don't necessarily put it all the way around the home. It's just at certain areas. And then with the older houses, they were not built with the gutters, the rain gutters, but if they're on there, it's because an owner at some point had them installed. So you're not gonna see a ton of rain gutters around here. Okay, question number 4 gets kind of a fun one, and it is, what are love bugs? And people usually don't know that love bugs exist until they're down here and they experience them themselves for the first time. So love bugs are these little tiny bugs. They're black with red heads, and they fly together in pairs. So that's where the love part comes from. Aww. I think they kind of look like lightning bugs, except they don't light up. And we do not get lightning bugs down here in Florida. And I think that's a little sad for the kids, because I always had good memories of growing up in Ohio, catching lightning bugs. But anyhow, we do have love bugs. Now, these love bugs are completely harmless. They don't bite, they don't sting, they don't cause rashes or anything like that. They don't, attack plants. They don't hurt your flowers if you have a little garden. It doesn't hurt anything, but they're super annoying. And this is why. All right, these love bugs come maybe once, twice a year. Some years they're worse, some years they're not hardly bad at all, or you don't even know that they're around. But what happens is they swarm. So if you drive through a swarm of love bugs, they hit your car, they hit your window, they hit the front of your car, and it's like glue. So you've gotta get it cleaned off. You've gotta wipe off, get your windows cleaned off, get that front part of your car cleaned off right away. Different car washes around town when it's love bug season. You'll see on their signs on the marquee, like, come get your love bugs washed off. Don't let them stick to your car. So that's pretty common thing. But otherwise they're harmless. They're just kind of gross. Now, love bugs are attracted to the color white. And a few years ago, I had a listing, it's vacant, this house with a white metal roof. So of course the metal roofs are just smooth and flat. And so it came down in the front and the back of the house. So during love bug season, those bugs somehow or another just would hit the roof, or they'd hang out there and they would die. So all along the front and the back of the house, there was this nice long pile of love bugs. So I'd go over there every couple days and sweep them up. Again, harmless, just kind of gross. And then one time I was showing homes way out east, and the love bugs are definitely more thick out east than if you're on the barrier islands. If you're on Siesta Key or Lido Key or Longboat Key, they're not as bad out there, out west. And I think part 2 is because out east, there's less things maybe out there to break up the swarms. So anyhow, I'm showing property to these folks that were looking for a lot of land to have animals. And we would get to a house, we're in the middle of a swarm. So it was like on a count of 3, we'd all quick jump out of the car, slam the door shut, because we didn't want them to get in the car. That was just horrible. And we'd run up to the house, get in the house as quick as possible, and then we'd have to run back to the car. And so that was a lot of fun. That is not common at all, so please don't think that's the norm, but that was just one experience I had with those crazy love bugs. Now, here's what's really interesting is there's the local lore, the local folklore around here is that the love bugs were created by the University of Florida by a genetic experiment that had gone bad. So sometimes people blame University of Florida for those love bugs. I don't think that's true, but that's what people say. Okay, and then question number 5 I get has to do with hurricanes. Hurricanes are a common question. There's lots of questions that revolve around hurricanes when I'm with folks. Why doesn't Sarasota get hit as bad as other areas? Because we really haven't had a direct hit in about 100 years. Hurricane Irma a few years ago really slowed down, scraped us a little bit, but it wasn't that big of a deal. Well, here again, local folklore. All right, so of course, before we were all here, we had Native Americans who were here, and people believe that either the Native Americans really knew what was the best place to be to avoid the hurricanes, or that they had blessed the area so that we would be protected from hurricanes. And then a third thing is that we're protected because there are ancient Indian burial grounds in a few areas here in Sarasota, and they're protected, like you can't build there or anything like that. And so people think that we've been protected from hurricanes because of maybe one of those 3 things or a combination of them. And then other people believe it has to do with the way the coastal line is and the topography of everything. I'm not really sure. I'm just really glad that we've been blessed that we really don't have too many issues with hurricanes. Not to say that we could never have a direct hit. I can never say that, but we've really been fortunate. I've lived here since 91, and it just hasn't been really a problem. Sometimes, it disrupts life, but hasn't been a huge issue for us locally. So I'm very grateful for that, regardless of the reason of us being blessed. So those were the 5 topics, questions, observations, surprises I get from newer buyers. Now, was there anything new to you? Hit the like button and tell me in the comments below what you were surprised to learn. And if you're already a little familiar with the area, if you've been here before, or if you've recently moved here, what was something that may have been a surprise to you that I didn't cover? And please put that in the comments below, because you can help other people, and then maybe it's something I can include in a future video. And I hope you've learned that if you have a question and you're afraid to ask, don't be shy. I'm happy to answer any of your questions. There's no silly or goofy or crazy questions. I want you to be comfortable talking to me. Remember, I used to teach math to junior high students, so really there's not too many questions that are going to rattle me. I kind of have experienced quite a bit. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And if there's something that you think would be a good topic for me to cover in a video, put it in the comments below, please. And I'll see what I can do to work on that. Again, thanks so much for watching. I appreciate your support, and I can't wait for you to move to Sarasota. Have a great day.